Howdy do. Still didn't get a selfie stick, which is painful, but having a coffee. My mind is awash. It is awash about all the things. Just up on the deck. Oh, is that going to pick up the greenery? No. Yeah, it's a shame. Valley View just looks so sensational this morning. Gosh, it looks good. Yeah, so I have ADHD. Some people might not be surprised about that, but I do. And so I'm a businessman at heart. Just talking to a nice young fella that makes my coffee down at the coffee joint. It's only 3 minutes away, which is pretty sensational considering I've been isolated all my life. He's talking about how he's planning to get his money together so he can buy a house. And we got talking about, setting up businesses and etc. And I've set up a lot of businesses and run some really big outfits, corporate and private. Set up my own export company, red meat. And of course, build up an empire to 189,000 acres, up to 22,000 head. And yeah, just been relentlessly moving. I must have thought that I was bored or needed to do something different. So no, I went into horses because I love horses, and I heard that they were kicking them out of the mountains. So they were all going to slaughter, and no one had any answers. And I thought there's only 400 a year, so I might as well do it. 464, I think, was the highest number to come out of the mountains in 1 year. That's not many. So we took all the horses and we trained them. And of course, that's where 4BP came from. And I've been pedaling ever since. It's been fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But having ADHD, my brain doesn't turn off. It just doesn't turn off. It just tick, 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 tick. So some of the things that we do that might seem like insane or, who in their right mind would come up with that? It's because Joe was sitting still. He had a day off. He got thinking again. Like I explained how the 70 and 7 came about. It was in a second or two, maybe 4 seconds thought. 7 to be generous, I suppose. You can have 5 horses, but there's 70 horses here, and my husband said, I wish you could train 70 horses. Yeah, okay, let's do that, but we still only got 7 days to do it in. Like, I'll think about that. Who says that type of crazy stuff, really, honestly? And it was so much fun. And it led to a tour of Western Australia, and I pulled 2 of my kids out of school, much to my wife's utter annoyance. I took my second eldest, who was running the property at the time, and she came across with her husband, and then I pulled the 2 young ones out of school. So I thought, they're not going to teach him anything in school that, My son was, I don't know how old he was, about 15 maybe. And his shoulders were rolled and he was tall, so he was humped over walking around, so he fitted in with the other kids. And by the end of that tour, he was 3 inches tall, he was as straight as an arrow. His self-confidence had gone through the roof. Same with my youngest daughter. And now we're doing 30. There's nothing really big. It's big. It's big for what we're doing. It is unbelievably great because it's community run. I'm providing all the facilities, all the horses, all the know-how, everything, so that people can come and enjoy it. You know, I've picked 3 horse trainers so far, and I hope well, I don't have to hope. I know they're going to be good. I can teach a broken stick falling off a tree to train a horse, so they'll be good. And but I'm really excited for the fact that they're excited. They've been on the page for some time. They've been hammering me for some time. So you know, to be able to do something. Is that not what our life's all about? Is to help someone else fulfill their dreams? There's some wonderful resumes there, but like sensational resumes. But what I'm looking for that age bracket of, you know, anywhere through the early 20s to mid 30s, so that they can actually dedicate their life to training horses. And if they can dedicate their life to training horses, they can dedicate an enormous amount of time in their life fixing horses and people for the next 20, 30, 40 years. And I know this event will be something that they're able to skite about and say, oh yeah, you know, I was part of the training 30 horses. And of course, those that are good at it, they'll come back to train the 80 in 8 days. And why did we pick 80 in 8 days? Blame my sister. Because the record is 65 in 6 or 52 in 5. So we only need to train 53 in 5 to beat the record. But why not do 80? You know, if you got the opportunity and you got the people and you know, the people have the everything else there to do it, why not do 80? Like, it seems insane for me, it does. But that's my brain. Tick, 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 tock. So now, just wandering around the farm this morning, walking about, having a look, thinking of all the multitude of things to do. I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm someone who likes to have things done right. And you know, the yards over there are pretty good. Well, they should be. I dumped a tonnage of money into it, but they look good. It was nice. I had a cocky come in here the other day, a born and bred stockman, and he looked around and he said, "Oh wow, Joe, this is insanely good. Look how all the yards just in a lock, and that flows into that, and everything flows from one end to the other, side to side. You know, from the back of, I'm sitting at the mental health facility at the moment. So you can draft up and train here, and everything laneways up to the big shed. And the big shed feeds out of the back end of that, and laneways all the way back around behind again. So it's nice. It's taken a lot of thought and a lot of work, and trying to keep it organic. You know, like maintain the timber, the railing, everything as it should be. And you know, we've had all this this rain, which is sensational, but now, you know, I need to maintain the grounds, because building these yards and not maintaining the grounds is a bit out of league. I had my youngest boy here. I've always had a manager on here of some description, or an employee, and I always had someone here to slash the paddocks and, you know, give me a hand and lift the other end, or hold that in place while I weld it, etc. And I don't have that now. they've all moved off, and I had a couple of employees here, and I was tired of getting up first thing in the morning to make sure they were up and make sure they had a job and made sure they were going, and I was just tired and burnt out. And so I've had 3 or 4 months off from them, and now this 30 horses, like when my sister come around, she's the one that dived me into it. Good on you, Ali. Ali Williams. Follow her and annoy her. She's got a page, it's under Ali Williams. She's the one with the big pink car. And she said, I really need this, Joe. Why don't we do it again? I said, I really need it too. You know, COVID shut everything down. We went into a hole. And, I sold a property and a lot of turmoil within the family and, getting rid of that property and wife running off and, a whole bunch of stuff. So, 3 years on, I'm like, yeah, it'd be nice to, let's do it. I'm still waiting for my youngest daughter to get a window and to come in because she's just so awesome. They're all awesome, but she's so good. Damn, she's good. It'd be nice to have her come in. So I need people to cut lawns or someone or I reached out to one of the trainers. I don't know if all the trainers, even the people that I have hit up for trainers, I know everyone's got commitments. That's the tough bit. It's tough enough to take 3 weeks out of somebody's program, out of a year, to go and train horses with some lunatic. But you do step onto the world stage in a sense, even if it's in a smaller or lower capacity. It's a relevant point. Any of you people who are training your horses for BP at home, I guarantee you, if you can train even just 1 horse a week doing 4BP, even if you've just trained 1 horse and it's awesome with 4BP, I'll guarantee you that you're way better than just an everyday professional trainer. The number of times I get letters from people saying, I had this wonderful horse and it wasn't scared of anything, it's come back and now scared of its own shadow. The horse trainer's given it a good flogging. It's got, they hang on to it so all its hair grows back. I've heard so many atrocious stories. And it's atrocious now because, to be fair, that's the way we always trained. When I was a pup, oh man, that's the way he trained, and he knew no better. But because I was addicted to horses, I trained my first 3 horses for the stock camp when I was 11. 11 or 12, I can't remember which one it was. But I remember the horses, they were Mad Cat, Greville and Huffy. And I thought they were really good horses. So, because I was obsessed, I had to learn all the points of balance and how to make a horse turn. And then, of course, all your life experiences come in to make you understand how and why the horse trains. So when you come to do a 4BP clinic, you don't have to learn anything new. Everything you need to know about training a horse, you already know, 100%. Because to train a horse is the same as saying g'day to someone you don't know that speaks a different language. So that person doesn't speak the same language as you, you don't go up and belt them on the end of the nose, stick a rope around the neck and tie them around the yard and tie them up to the bottom rail and then softly talk to them while you stroke their thigh. They don't remember the soft talk and the stroking of the thigh. They're still bleeding from the nose thinking, why have you done that? So it's a completely different deal nowadays. Absolutely anyone from like 4.5 years old up. Henry was 4.5 years old when he trained his first horse. It was a 15-hand horse. And and he was about a two-hand person. It doesn't matter who you are or what your background is in or how good you can ride, because when you train the horse properly, the horse isn't going to buckle bolt anyway. And I tell everyone all the time, the hardest part when you start riding a 4BP horse is making it move, because it's like, why do you want to make me move? I've been standing still the whole time and now you want to make me move? Anyway, they start moving, everything's sweet. But my mind's awash, absolutely awash of all the things to put in place. Tomorrow's going to be our last ladies' Christian Day, which we have here at the mental health facility. So anybody who wants to, you know, come along and have a coffee and drink a bit of fresh milk and have a yarn and mingle with each other and do a plug-in with the horses and all that type of stuff. It'll be the last clinic tomorrow, I think. And at some stage we'll move that to Wednesdays so that I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot on my plate. But I've got good people that's helping me. So anybody who actually, you know, wants to help, who can, even if you said, hey, can I roll up there for 2 days, Joe, and camp in the house and cut all your lawns and whippersnip everything, sure, go on, do it. I love you already. You know, that would just be fantastic. And everything I do is for free. God gave me this program for free. Everything He's taught me, I got for free. Everything, and all glory goes to my Father, my Heavenly Father. And so trading these horses, that's why there'll be 10 people paying for the first 10 horses, because I don't know what to do with a whole lot yet. The first people that buy the first 10 horses, they get a cracking deal. So presently I'm thinking somewhere around $8,500 to $9,500. My sister reckons it should be 10. Others reckon it should be 12 grand. But, you know, you got 5 days accommodation. You've got all your food supplied. Someone's cooking it for you. You got all your smoke aids. You got all your equipment. And you got all your tuition. Everything's supplied. And you get the horse as well. So, you know, normally for a horse that we produce, you'd be paying $8,500 just for the horse, let alone all the accommodation and food and tuition. And then, of course, we have to carry on with its training to make sure that it's bomb-proof to go out on this drove. And, of course, we want to... here's where my mind's ticking. Got to build an obstacle course for the horses to go through, noodle alleys and, you know, over stuff through water, you know, all the stuff. I want to be able to land a drone on their bum, land and take off on their rump. I don't know if that's achievable yet. Obviously it's achievable, but I mean, like, that's what I'd like, because, you know, on this drive, obviously there's going to be overhead drone footage and etc, etc. And we want those horses to be absolutely bomb-proof. And they will be, I know they will. I've never had horses so quiet in my life that are coming before me now. And I can turn stuff that's completely wild into a horse you can ride down the freeway within a day. We'll get them bomb-proof. We went and trained 3 horses in a morning for a lady and her children. And it was a late lunch. And she got on that horse that we trained that morning, untouched. and she rode it up to the house 3 k's away in front of us bareback, and let it go into the paddock, and we had lunch together. I mean, like, how awesome's that? That type of stuff still amazes me, no matter how many times. Hence, it had to have been given to me by the Father, because I couldn't have worked this stuff out, surely. So, I'm fighting with the fact that I want everyone possible to enjoy this as much as possible, but I have to cover costs. And so 10 horses, so those who buy a horse, man, you're going to get a good horse. You get first pick of 10 horses out of 30 to start with. I've got to not fall in love with them. And then the other 20, I don't know what we'll do. We might sell some of them. We might auction them. We may keep them on for other programs. We may auction a number of those and give to the food bank that we're lending the horses to anyway. There's a whole bunch of things that we may do. But at the end of the day, I've got to remember I have to stay financial, otherwise we can't have lots of fun things to do. But everything else is for free. Always has been. Generally speaking, when someone's got something else that everyone else wants or needs, that's when you charge for it. But I'm not really that interested in charging. I want people to be having fun. I want people to know how to train their horses well. I want them to know how to link with their horses. You know, it's a completely different demographic for me. I have no apologies for that. Hence why it's called 4BP and not Joe Hughes. Have a look around the world and try and find horse trainers that don't use their name. They all want to use their name. I think it'd be better for you to train your horse yourself. Saying 4BP or gum leaf whatever, or fence post something, because whenever it works and everything's good, it gives you a greater ownership of what you've got. Now, could be wrong, but I think that's the shot. So I'm going to try and incorporate everyone into it. But anyone that wants to help, don't just send me a letter saying, oh, you know, I'd like to help. Say, you know what, I've got hard steel cap boots, and your lawnmower is my lawnmower, or, you know, I want to come and help. Because there is a lot to be done just to get up to speed, because I've been working on yards and a whole bunch of other stuff's been going on. Like I say, I'm like a duck. Always smooth on the top, but underground I'm just pedaling. Waking up at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, thinking, trying to structure stuff. And trying to make sense of things, and trying to make sure that everyone can have the best fun. I'm all about people having fun, people improving themselves. It's disheartening for those who don't improve, but, you know. I always remember my young son. It was a chick from Tasmania, and she come and told me about it. She said, my son, who was only like, I don't know, maybe 14, 15, was helping in a clinic, and he was instructing, and she wasn't getting what he was putting down, and he just put his arms at his side and said, look, I'm so sorry. He said, I'm so sorry that I'm just not explaining it to you properly. And she said, no, don't worry, Henry. You're explaining it to me properly. I'm just really slow. And she said, the thing is, he just persevered and persevered. And that's what it's about. We just keep persevering until you get it. You know. I got family members the same. You know. We all do. You just got to keep persevering with them. And they'll break through. They'll get there. So, you know, I suppose I'm asking if anybody's interested in you know, doing some type of, I don't know whether we do a working bee. I mean, we've done that in the past with the house and all. You know, like the manager's house here, nobody's actually been through it to clean it for some months. And it's open for people who come in and need a room. And, you know, it just needs a bit of a refresh. Somebody to go through in a couple of days and, you know, wash the sheets and wash the carpets are all been washed recently. But, you know, just run a vacuum over it, wipe it over. I'd like to probably put another couple of beds in there. You know, it's going to be like a rabbit warren when the show goes off. I hope there's not people sleeping on top of people. You know, find a space and roll a swag. Because I truly do want this to be for the people. I want people to enjoy this. You know, COVID shut everyone down. And talking to a great friend of mine yesterday, Leah. And everything's been shut down since COVID. You know, we were supposed to go to the States to train those 60,000 odd horses over there. Mustangs. And it got cut off. All our programs throughout Australia all got cut off by the government because we weren't allowed to encourage people to come into a group. All the mental health that we had organised all got cancelled in one day. That's why we went online and went free, so everyone could heal themselves across the world for free. Anyway, don't want to go on too much. I got to go and see if my camera's ready yet. Oh, I'm not going to say who they are, but I bought a camera. I got to wait for it to deliver, and they still got my old phone number on the list, so and I forgot about that. So I won't know if it's coming. And it's a vlogger or a vlogger. You fellas will know. You know, it's a digital camera that can Wi-Fi and do all this type of stuff. But it's got a greater clarity. And I think it's 15 to 50 mil lens, camera lens on it. And we're going to buy 2 or 3 of those. And so if you're handy with a camera, editing, anything like that, put your hand up, throw your hat in the ring. If you're good at picking up horse turds and or driving a buggy with a turd trailer behind it, or you know, Lisa's already reached out to see if we need a cook, so hopefully I'll ring her today. And yeah, there's lots of things to be done. Anyway, you have a good day. Bye.